Hello everyone, Corvus again, and welcome to the second part of the How to Paint Radagast video series. In the first part you've seen me assemble this miniature, and now we will go on with the next step, which is the painting. Of course I did the priming off camera. If you're interested in how I prime my miniatures, please click the link on the screen, which will take you to a tutorial video on how I prime miniatures. As you can see, I used the black and white primer technique again on this miniature as well, just because there are a lot of overhangs here and there, a lot of dark areas under his cloak, so I wanted to prime these areas black. Makes it easier to paint. What's a bit more difficult with the black primer, especially here on the legs, is that the black primer is kind of hard to cover with the skin tone. So that's also one of the reasons I put on 2 layers of the skin tone. So here I'm just painting the right hand, and then I'm moving to the face for the second layer. The paint I'm putting on here is a 50-50 mix of Vallejo model color basic skin tone, which is a rather pale and light flesh tone, and the other part of the mix is the Vallejo model color neutral skin tone, which is also the paint I used in my neutral skin tone tutorial. That's a video in case you didn't see it. There's also a link on the screen to that video. If you're looking for more information on painting skin tones, like I'm just showing the painting here, but if you really want to see the consistency of the paints I use, how I thin them, how I go along mixing the paints, then please check out this video, because here you'll only see me put the paint on a model. That's basically only 50% of the action. The other important stuff is happening on the palette, of course, where the mixes are taking place. So just going on with the first shading here. I noticed 2 things when I saw this figure on the GW website, and also on the box of the Hobbit set. First of all, the skin is rather pale, so that's why I'm using a rather light base coat. And the second thing was that there was some kind of gray tone to the skin tone, and that's an effect I also want to achieve here. And I'm doing this by adding some gray to the shading. So my usual recipe to shade skin is starting off with mixing in burnt cadmium red. This is also something I'm doing here, but next to that I'm adding some black gray, Lego model color black gray, which is like a 60 or 70% black gray, so a rather dark gray. But that really helps to achieve the grayish effect I want to try to mimic from the studio paint job. So just putting on 2 layers of shading here. This second layer is almost pure black gray mixed with cadmium red and some of the base coat, and then I'm putting on this last shading, in which I mixed in some black. I'm also painting a bit of black into the eye sockets here, but I will take care of the eyes at the end of this video. So next to this shade I'm doing now, I'm going to paint on the highlight. I will tell you which colors I use for the highlighting in just a minute, but I want to grab this bit of time to respond to some comments on the previous video. So I just want to, if you have any comments on this video, please put them in the comment section. I'll try to answer them in a comment as well, and maybe get back on the comment in the next part of this video series. I think it's a nice way to fill up the otherwise empty gaps in the narration. So there was a user called Vallejo46 who asked me about the Games Workshop policy. Now I'm not going to go into much detail on this, because I don't think it's in the context of this current video. It's a bit off topic, but what to say about this? I think it's only number 500 part of a strange history that we know Games Workshop has. Yeah, they're imposing a lot of stuff on us, and yeah, I think every player has to, or Games Workshop customer has to ask himself, yeah, I'm going to take this much longer, or I'm just going to look for an alternative. I think there are a lot of alternatives here out there. So yeah, that's the subject. Maybe I can go into detail in a separate video, but for me personally, I'm not a Warhammer Fantasy 40k player for some reasons, and the cost is one of them. But on the other hand, I'm also a big fan of their products, like this Hobbit set, just great quality for the money. So it's just something that you have to put into account, take into account for yourself, and ask yourself how far you want to go with this company. But yeah, sometimes they do stuff, they have some kind of monopoly, and they abuse that. And also I live in Europe, so it's not, I don't really have much trouble with the stuff they do in Canada and US these days. In Europe we also have some laws who prevent companies like Games Workshop from abusing their monopoly position. But yeah, on one hand I can understand some of the concerns there. In the meantime, just talking about the highlight again, just used the base coat and added white and skin tone, as you can see, build up the highlights. Now going on to the eyes, yeah, just painting the eye sockets black. And next, yeah, just both eye sockets, just make sure they're entirely black. As you can see here, now going for white to paint the white of the eyes. Now we just want to leave a small border of black around the white. I think you see me making a mistake on the figure's left eye here. I think here I'm making a mistake that I'm painting over the black border, but I'm going to fix that in a minute. So here I'm fixing the mistake with black. That's also important advice I want to give you guys, is just go back and fix your mistakes. Never leave visible mistakes on a model if you're going for a good quality. So I'm just painting on the pupils, just paint it on the first pupil and then trying to align the other pupil. You don't want a cross-eyed model. So I think that wraps up this video. This is the finished model, skin tone done, eyes done. So I hope you like this. If you have any comments, please post them in the comment section. Please subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber, and I hope to see you in the third part of this series. Thanks a lot.